This video is a sample from the Secret Guitar Teacher Interactive course, The 5 Main Elements of Music. The 5 main elements of music. Element number 2, scales. Section 2.4, the major blues scale. Part 7, chord-specific use of blues scales. So far on this course, we've concentrated on the simplest approach to improvising, something I call key-specific improvising. This means that all you need to know is the key of the tune you're playing along to, and you then choose one set of notes that fit that key, using your ears to make use of those notes when negotiating the actual chord changes. A more exacting way to learn to improvise involves selecting a different approach for each individual chord in a tune, something I call chord-specific improvising. This has one great advantage: it is extremely accurate. And one great disadvantage: it means you have to be aware of the chord sequence in all its detail and be practiced enough to be able to jump from one idea to the next without getting disorientated. This is something that takes a lot of learning and hours of practice. For this reason, people who can fluently improvise directly over chord changes are a rarer breed of guitarist. There are several approaches to chord-specific improvising. The one we're going to introduce to you now is nice and easy to get into if you've been working your way diligently through this course up to this point. The chords we play over mostly fall into one of three types: major, minor, and dominant seventh. Later on the course, we'll explore in depth how each of these is defined and what function each serves. But for now, let's simply think of the three chords C major, C minor, and C seventh. Over any major chord, you can use the major blues scale of the same name. So, for example, over C major, we can play any of the one octave runs of the major blues scale. Similarly, over any minor chord, you can use the minor blues scale of the same name. So, for example, over my C minor chord, we can play any of the one octave runs of the minor blues scale. A nice simple option over a seventh chord is to start with a major blues scale, but instead of terminating it as we did over the major chord with the octave note like this, we leave it hanging on the note 2 frets lower, which we can also find here on this string. This is known as the flat seventh note and is the main marker that distinguishes the seventh chord and gives it its characteristic sound. To help you ease your way into the chord-specific approach to improvising, I've made a simple backing track using this sequence. And here I've colour-coded the chords red for major, orange for dominant seventh, and blue for minor. Here's a quick demo of how to use this. The simplest approach is to first find root notes for each of the chords, like this. C, C again, F, F again, back to C, then A, then G, and play through the sequence a few times, play along to it, just playing those root notes to get them into place, like this. Now simply play the appropriate blues scale based run off each root note, like this. C for the C major, C seventh, going up to F major, followed by F minor, back to C major, up to A seventh, up to D minor, and back to G major. And once you've practiced that a few times, try it against the backing track and see if you can do that in time with the chords. Once you're used to that, you can start messing around with it a bit. Keeping up with the chord changes when you improvise this way is likely to seem impossible at first. So it's good to fall back, it's good to get the habit of falling back on the simpler key-specific approach to improvising as a sort of safety net. So before I start with the chord-specific approach, I make a point of getting my bearings using one scale that I know I can fall back on when the chords change too quickly for me to keep up with. In the case of our demo backing track sequence, I can see that we're in the key of C major, so I'll use the C major blues scale as my safety net scale. Now I've established that safety net, I can attempt to use the chord-specific approach, but anytime I feel I've lost track of the chords, I can fall back on the safety net. So I'm on it here. I got lost here, so let's revert back to our safety net. Here's the A chord, D chord, G chord, C. I'm a bit stuck here, let's go. That's my safety net. Here comes an F. F minor. What's next? I can't remember. Let's go back to the safety net. Oh, this is a G, I remember that. Back to C. Get the idea? I advise practicing this in two ways. Start by using the key-specific approach. And throw the odd bit of chord-specific use of the scales in. Here comes the F. F minor. Back to my safety net. Chord-specific safety net. Let's go chord-specific on the C here. To the A. Back to my net. G. So you can choose different chords to use the chord-specific approach over. Here's an F. That's my safety net. Here's an A, C, and an A. Back to my safety net. Then once you've done that for a while, try reversing the approach. Use nothing but the chord-specific areas and only fall back on the safety net when needed. C, A, D, G, what happens now? I can't remember. So safety net. Oh, that's the F minor. Now we're back to C. To A. To D. To G. Whoa, lost it. Safety net. Once you've got the idea of this, pick some of the other backing tracks from the last lesson to work over, and then move on to working over backing tracks of your own choice. Use the comment section to let me know how you get on with this. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you'd really like to maximize your potential as a guitar player, click on the link in the description below to the Secret Guitar Teacher site. Here you can sign up for a 30-day trial free of charge and without obligation. We won't even ask you for your credit card number.